art and science of cooking beautiful and mouth-watering dishes is called culinary arts. An apt name for someone who paints their canvas on a plate for a living. Culinary chefs are professionals who can be found working in hotel kitchens, restaurants, or even in private households. While some chefs specialize in a specific type of cuisine, most chefs are well versed in the different tastes, flavors, and meals served around the world. There are no specific qualifications to become a culinary chef. Your skills and talents are learned and acquired with time and practice. Anyone who is interested in a culinary arts career should have a passion for cooking and for food in general. While cooking can be learned without any type of formal education, most individuals interested in culinary arts choose to refine and improve their skills by enrolling in a culinary institute. Many such bachelor and graduate programs are offered in the country and around the world. The head of the kitchen is the executive chef. He is in charge of everything that goes on in the kitchen, right from sourcing food for the supplier to choosing the menu for the day.
We're with the executive chef in front of this incredible buffet, and we're going to walk through with him and see what does he look for when he comes on his checks. What does he check? Does he get to taste all the food that the kitchen has made? We're going to talk to him a bit more about that. So chef, when you come, what do you do? What all do you look for?
Plan our menus much way in advance, different for lunch and different for dinner. I mean, it takes care of all our guests. For example, you have three kinds of soups. You got the Indian soup, you got the Western soup, and you have the Chinese Asian soup. Now, we have specialty chefs in each and every section, and they have recipes, standardized recipes to work with. They follow all our instructions and cook accordingly. However, we need to still check or double check. For example, I'm going to taste one of the soups and check out if the seasoning or the consistency is okay. Looks good. Tastes good too. A little bit. It's a little bit spicy.
Okay.
Maybe we can tone down the thing. Arun, if you could just fix the soup, have a taste of it, talk to our Asian chef, and maybe just tone down the spice a little bit.
The top hotel kitchens are designed to cater to different cuisines and therefore have different kitchens depending on the different cuisines.
The Asian would need a separate kind of equipment.
Yes.
The Chinese wok and the steamers. The Western would need more of grill and fryers. Indian would need the tandoor and for the curries.
Yes.
So that's why there's a segregation.
While working in fancy hotels and restaurants may sound attractive, the job comes with its share of challenges and hard work. It is crucial that you're able to work in a team and be able to stand on your feet for long hours in the kitchen. Guests expect the best from the chef, and the job of the chef is to give it right back to them. With the Indian hotel and restaurant industry growing impressively over the last decade, there is an increasing demand for culinary chefs in big metro cities. With the job prospects on the rise, anyone who wants to become India's next masterchef should not change their mind. Culinary arts it is.
Food is like fashion. Like what's in today is out tomorrow.
We're in the kitchen now. It's extremely hot. I've got my hat on and we're with Abhishek, who is studying culinary and is working here. What made you want to work in the kitchen? Is it something that you've always wanted to do?
Basically, I would tell you this was when I was around 11 or 12 years old. I always was influenced by my grandmom with the fulkas on the gas which used to bloat up, and that used to really like fascinate me. So there was this time I actually went in the kitchen and I tried doing it myself, and every time it happened, I got influenced with it and I was enjoying it. So then I thought that okay, let me try doing something else next.
Yeah.
So then I went for a holiday to Aurangabad once and stayed at the Taj, and next door was IHM Aurangabad, where I actually planned to do my 4-year culinary arts program. That's kitchen work, and I really enjoyed doing it over there. Then earlier we have different trainings every year happening. In the first year it was 2 months, second year it was 3 months. So it was very boring in the beginning. You just had to peel onions, and we would be crying all day peeling onions.
That's probably something that students don't realize, right? Before they get their degree, they think immediately they'll be diving in.
Actually, that's what I thought. I mean, I thought I'd be just going and cooking and flipping few omelets here and there.
Yeah.
So I thought it'll be fun, but then the actual part is that yeah, you have to go through the crux of the entire program.
Yeah.
Then I'm here right now in Gurgaon in Western, where I was selected as a graduate management associate. It's a 1-year track basically, where it's a fast track where you actually have to pick up things like on the go, like quickly, and it is difficult. But if you're passionate about it, you can really enjoy. And there are way too many heights to reach in the kitchen.
What is one of your favorite dishes to whip up in the kitchen?
I'm specializing basically in the Indian cuisine.
Okay.
So I love making the biryanis, and those are my favorite dishes, biryanis and your dal makhani, and I personally love butter chicken. That's my favorite.
Cook for family?
I do that.
It's something like when you go back, because they know you're a chef, they're kind of like, please हमारे लिए कुछ बना दो, and they expect you to do all the cooking when you go home.
That's like when I'm on a break, I'll just try and make something for them, but then usually I just go home and take a break, because after this entire
Cooked enough.
Yeah, cooked enough. But thing is that in the kitchen there are long hours of working. You need to be like really strong and mentally strong more than anything, that you will go through it.
What are some of the challenges about the profession? Not necessarily drawbacks or negative things, but what are some of the difficulties that people face?
It's just basically long hours of working, and that's about it. There are no many challenges. It's just mental. But thing is, in kitchen you have to be artistic. You need to be skillful about all the things. You need to come up with new innovative ideas, so that the guests are not like bored of seeing the same thing over and over again. So you need to be creative about your work, and passionate for sure.
What would be some advice that you would give to people who are perhaps who just enjoy cooking or enjoy eating and tasting food and are thinking about maybe this is the career for me, maybe it isn't? What sort of advice would you give to
The
them?
only advice I would give is that you need to be strong first of all, and you need to think before coming. You need to watch a lot of videos. You need to watch a lot of things about what is actually happening behind in this. It's not. It sounds very glamorous and like fun and all, but it is fun at the end. But you need to be strong. That's all I need to say about this.
What are some of the best takeaways and best learnings that you've had while in the kitchen? Not necessarily about food, but just in general.
See, there's a lot of teamwork that is involved in this kitchen. You need to have a lot of teamwork, and that's the major point of this factor. You need to support each other. Even if someone's trying to fall behind, you need to go back and give him support. Like, come on, bro, it's just this much time's left. Let's wrap this up quickly and let's get going. And yeah, that's about it.
So those are some wise words from someone who is a student and is now in the profession. We have our expert Usha Albuquerque to talk to us a bit more about the scope of studying culinary in India and what are the options for students.
Culinary arts is an area where you're really learning how to work with food. So it's a kind of a food science. Therefore, you can work, and the scope for this field is really in any area where you're dealing with food. Ideally with a restaurant or a hotel or a place where food is being served. But also you could also work in food processing units, where there is some packaged foods. So those kind of areas, there could be possibilities. But I think because a large part of the course is also into the presentation of food and how it looks and how it tastes, and therefore it's better when you're working with either a restaurant or a hotel or in any of these big catering areas where you're catering for flight catering or cruise liner catering or any special event catering. So those kind of catering areas there would be greater scope for that.
Is the scope of culinary arts good in India, Delhi, or abroad? And what are the good institutes of the same? Which are the good institutes?
Culinary arts is one area where really the opportunities are all over, because food, everybody wants to eat, try out, and now everybody has expanded their tastes in food. There's so many different cuisines coming up. There are restaurants coming up practically every week. There's a new restaurant coming up. So I would think there is a lot of scope all over the world. But there is one advantage of this area in the sense that because there is a shortage of people working in this field around the world, that there are opportunities abroad where with other fields there isn't so much. So there are hotels and restaurants abroad that are looking for chefs, and they don't mind where they come from, and they'd be ready to help you with a work permit and all if you meet up with their requirements. So there are requirements for chefs maybe for a particular kind of cuisine or particular kind of bakery items or different speciality things.
But there are lots in India.
Lots in India too, yes, of course. So I would say in India and abroad, the opportunities are quite enormous. So you just need to, and I think the other thing which you might like to also look at are opportunities also in the area of food styling. That's come up new because if you're looking at presentation, you go to a McDonald's and the Domino's pizzas, you see that the pizzas look so good on their brochures. Maybe they don't look as good when you actually see them. So the presentation is very important. So you have to film them or take pictures on brochures or menus. So that again is a good area. Now with the food shows, there's a lot of scope in that area as well. So
And
if you're getting into
some good institutes of the same.
yes, and now mostly the courses have been at hotel management institutes. They have a course which is the hotel management, in which you then specialize in cuisine or kitchen, as they call it, kitchen operations. But of late, there have been specialized courses in culinary arts coming up. So you can do a 1-year or a 2-year course. And there are institutes, some of the hotel management institutes themselves, plus other standalone institutes have started these courses. And there's even a Cordon Bleu Institute which has come up. There are some Swiss, cuisine courses that have come from Swiss schools abroad that have also been set up in India. So there's a lot of interest in India as well.
How is culinary arts different from hotel management?
Culinary arts is a specialized area of hotel management. So hotel management broadly covers 4 major areas. The culinary arts, or the cooking and the kitchen, is one part of it. The other is the front office, where you're looking at meeting, greeting and signing in customers and clients. The third is the housekeeping, where you're looking at the rooms and the areas, how they've been able to be laid out. And the fourth is really the F&B, food and beverage, where you're managing the restaurants, making sure the food comes in, what are the kind of beverages, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, that are being served. Now, in a hotel management course, you would be taught all of these areas. So you can either decide to specialize in any one of these areas. So you do the whole course and you can specialize in any one of them. Or, as I was saying earlier, if you decide, I don't really want to study hotel management, I may not want to work in a hotel, I may want to just work in the food area, then you can just do a special course in culinary arts. And now the food institutes are offering specialized courses. So you can do a specialized course in bakery and confectionery, which institutes like the Pusa Institute or any of the hotel management institutes offer. You can do specialized cuisine areas, specialize in different kinds of cuisine, whether it's Thai cuisine or Italian cuisine or those kind of things. Those are also being offered now at many of these institutes.